What is Maya and what is its effect? Maya is illusion, and it also translates to delusion a lot of the time. Maya is usually ascribed to Hinduism. It is a term which represents the illusion of material existence in this material universe and all material universes around it. Now, Maya was instituted by God. Maya was instituted because it was far too easy to connect to God after God decided to separate into many different parts to experience himself. It's far too easy to get back to God, so he introduced illusion and delusion. The idea that we are separate. The illusion that one thing is divided from another. And that these things travel through time and space as separate entities, as separate pieces of the grander whole. Now, the most materialistic people cannot see everything as being part of the grander whole. The most materialistic people do not see that Maya is the DNA of material existence. In Maya, there is time, there is space, there is occurrence, there is relativity. But in actuality, we are all parts of one source. Many different peoples throughout human history, have realized this. Even the Romans, there before Christianity, they believed that they were worshiping the source through individual gods. And Hindus still believe this. Many Hindus, not all Hindus. I am one of them. I worship the source, the one whole that we are all part of to varying degrees, to varying magnitudes, through the Divine Mother Kali Ma, for instance, and the Divine Father Shiva. Now, to understand that material existence is Maya is not easy. It isn't easy to see that everything's a part of the same whole. We have flawed human senses. Sight, smell, hearing, even our sixth sense of, you could say, sensing something that our other senses do not, is limited in this material existence if we do not hone our subtler senses that are behind all of our senses. Our sense of touch, our sense of feeling is one of the most vibrant, but it is also hindered by the fact that we believe we are in this one platform, that our senses do not extend beyond it. So we feel the edge of our body. We feel the edge of our being, of our spirit. And spirit is the life force. Soul is that which records all the lives it has lived, which plunges back into this world again and again until one life finally becomes aware of it completely. And then the soul can get rid of all the egos while still remembering them, still being part of the story, and truly merge back into God. Truly merge back into the oneness from which we all come. And in most religions, there's this idea of created and creator as being separate. In Hinduism, for many of us Hindus anyway, there's no one thing that every Hindu believes, because it's not restricted in that way. But for many Hindus, we see that our spiritual path brings us closer and closer to that one union. That we have to work towards getting rid of our ego, getting rid of a sense attachment, towards material attachment, towards a desire to emulate the things of this world and not that which is behind this world. And getting rid of those attachments. And getting rid of the aversions, the hatreds, the angers that we attach to things that are repugnant to us is very much a part of it as well. Craving and aversion, getting rid of those, and also tapping into the source through your own spine and nervous system, connecting and getting rid of those blockages that naturally occur in the material universe. Making your spine truly straight, if you will. Through energy, through prana, through opening up those channels. There are 11 main chakras, but there's something like over 140 actual chakras, only two of which are outside of the body. The rest of them we can basically interact with directly with this platform, with this body, and open up. And the other two we gain access to once we open up many of these other chakras. These energy centers allow the life force to connect to the source of the life force, instead of it being isolated. Material existence is very much about isolation. Many Hindus believe that we are separate from God in a way. Because we feel so isolated, it seems apparent that we are, but we are not. Maya is what gets between us and God. Maya is what gets between us and between each chakra even, and us and everyone else. We have to get rid of that Maya. We have to get rid of those delusions and illusions in our very nervous system, in our very body, along our spine, in order to tap into the source. There are many spiritual traditions that believe that everything's a part of the one whole. I mentioned the Roman relationship to the gods and the source, but even in Asatru, which is a revival of our Northern European ancestral beliefs, believe that Yggdrasil, everything's a part of Yggdrasil, this world tree, and there are 9 different dimensions that are all going towards the one goal of basically everything going up Yggdrasil. And allowing ourselves to realize that our spine, our nervous system that looks like a tree, is a part of the world tree. That oneness that was at the beginning, that we all exist within, that we all exist a part of. And it has cycles of death and rebirth, but that is only in the material realms. In Ragnarok, which our Northern European ancestors talked about quite a bit, there is an ending to the vast majority of the gods that we know, but it is said that there are realms even above Valhalla, where Valhalla is Odin's hall, but even above Asgard, the highest realm that our ancestors really talked about a lot. It is said that there are dimensions above that are not confined to the cycle of death and rebirth that happens at Ragnarok and rebirth, Ragnarok and rebirth, Ragnarok and rebirth. And really, we're all trying to get to those dimensions before we finally merge into the source, which our Northern European ancestors also talked about. Throughout many different scriptures and many different religions, many different spiritual traditions, there's an idea of something that created from nothing. But in Hinduism, a lot of us think that it wasn't from nothing. God created from himself because God is the only thing that truly exists, the only thing that existed. So God created from himself, and everything remained a part of God. And it is only through Maya and illusion that we think that we find separations to be seemingly apparent. But they are not true. These are falsehoods imposed upon us by materiality. And you say, why did God institute illusion and delusion on purpose? Why did he separate everything? And there are some questions that can only be answered once you hit the highest. But, to put it plainly, he wanted to experience himself in ways that made it seem like he could be many things. That is a basic answer, but that's all we can really understand until we get to higher and higher up. Whatever your spiritual understanding, whatever your religion, try and look at how this material world is illusory in many ways that most human beings don't realize. Most human beings do not see that desire and anger and hatred only lasts for a second. And we will eventually go back to a state that is beyond these things. And a lot of the time, people get lost in that emptiness. They're afraid once they hit that emptiness, they feel like they're empty inside. And instead of, when you hit that emptiness inside, instead of running from it, look at it, examine it. Make it a teacher for you. Why do you feel empty on the inside? It's because you have to connect back to the source. Delve into that emptiness, try to find the root, and you will eventually find it, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a video about Maya and what its effect is, and I hope that you gleaned some kind of understanding about it from this video. If you have any comments, put it down in the comment section below. I try to get to all comments, but there's been a lot recently. Hit a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to follow me on Patreon at www.patreon.com/darkrealist. Capital D, capital R. You can also look up Hunter Salazar on Patreon and find me as well. Feel free to donate. I only ask for $1 a month for content that I don't expose on YouTube. Just for $1 a month, you get access to additional information that I like to share. So, feel free to support me, and first and foremost, support your own connection to the divine. Thank you very much. You all have a great day.